Hey, what's going on YouTube? It has been a little while since I have bothered to do a Clash of Wills video that was like a narrated guide that was not rank 1. But I used to do a lot of these and people have found them helpful in the past. And since this is one where I think people are struggling, I thought it would be nice to go ahead and do another one of these where I show, a good strategy that seems to work. Even if it's not the perfect strategy to get a perfect score, because maybe you don't have, some of the best units for this this challenge, just like me, and you still want to get as good a score as you can. So we'll take a look and see. And here's what I did. A couple things you need to know about this fight. It is a human demon. It's weak to dark, fire, and ice. You want to pick your best of those three elements. And without certain units on your team, you kind of have to deal with like the fact that the boss heals a lot and then has really good mitigation against humans. They're starting to use our own tricks against us. Really annoying, but it is what it is. Let's get into it and I'll show you what I'm talking about. We're going to turn on 265% worth of modifiers. So we don't have on the highest defense and spirit or the highest elemental resistance buff for the boss. So we're at 265. And here is the team that we're taking, and I'll show you all the gear at the end. But we're using Abigail for tanking, Tsukiko for fire support and just doing damage. We're doing fire, Lilith for doing damage, and some physical tanking as well. Also heals us a lot and keeps us on our feet. Olive for fire support for herself, and just helping us do damage. She caps pretty much every turn in the second phase of the fight, just to do a little bit of damage, which is nice. Cleome for some killer buffs and some resistance buffs and just doing damage. And then Kresnik is here for morale fill, as well as some buffs a couple times during the fight for a couple different things. So pretty cool. We'll go ahead and get into it though, and I'll show you the actions that we're using as we go. That way you can see, but the actions are going to be in a turn chart in the comments as well. Boss is going to start out by hitting us with a big gravity attack. We don't really care. If you take a look at my turn chart, anything that starts with a red square, that has to go first. In our case, that's going to be Tsukiko. She's going to do fire stuff first. That way we can seal the boss every turn. So fire, fire, and Omamori. And there you go. Also fills a little bit of morale. Our aim is to get to this 1 here by turn 4. It's okay if we can't, but we really want to. Now that we're imbued with fire, Lilith is going to heal us up with Kiss of Rapture 3 times. I know that doesn't look like much. Abigail's not even to half, but, she's going to be fine. Kresnik is going to shift up and use Arcane Stimulant for the first couple of turns. Get the morale going. Olive is going to fill morale with her 5 skills. And Cleome is going to use Prodigious Protection, Slayer's Symphony first movement, and Gallant Crescendo. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is Abigail. I'm going to show you that if you use Methodical Mitigation, Contingency Plan, and Drone Cover, you can actually gain quite a bit of morale. I have gotten below this 4 before. Not every time, but sometimes I do. But those 3 skills do generate quite a bit of morale. There we go. So it looks like about 77. Yeah, it's okay. I've had 75 before. It's not a big deal. Let all that auto casting go. And there we go. I'm just going to hit reload first to save us some time. Because Olive and Kresnik are just going to do the same thing. We're going to be bursting in 2 turns on turn 4, so whenever you do that with Cleome, you want to have her use her shifted limit burst 2 turns before. And then Tsukiko is going to just fill up her Magnus for her fire using Firestorm. And Lilith is going to use Kiss of Betrayal. That way we can do a little bit of damage, not a whole lot, but it is what it is. Before we do, Abigail's going to break and cover to fill morale. And we'll just send them to chain. Don't even do a full % point damage. It's okay. It doesn't look like right now that we're going to get to this mark by the end of turn 3. It's okay. We really would like to get to 20% morale for the buff, but if you don't get it, it's not a big deal. All right, this turn is interesting. So we're not going to use our SLBs here because the boss still has mitigation. Kresnik is going to use Cure and Curse to fill morale for us long term, as well as give everybody a human killer buff. And then a bunch of people are going to do 2 bolting strikes and then something else. So like Abigail's going to do that. Lilith is going to do 2 bolting strikes and a cover. Cleome is going to do 2 bolting strikes and her Magnus. Olive is going to use 3 of her storings, a shot, and flaming melons, and then just try and cap a little bit. Tsukiko is going to use Cherished Gift to store for the next turn. So everybody's doing that so that they chain with 2 bolting strikes and then use something else so it doesn't break the chain. And then Olive is going to hopefully cap. But that means we need to try and time Olive a little bit. So we're going to hit Olive, let her stuff go, and then send everybody else to chain. And hopefully do a little bit of damage. Maybe get into 98% if we're lucky, but probably not. So Olive go 2. Not quite. And we didn't quite get to 20% morale. It's okay. Kresnik's fine. We didn't have to use the, like, dark absorb thing. We don't need it. It's a nice trick you can do, but you don't have to have it. All the auto casting. Okay. Abigail's going to go first and use her SLB for mitigations and weapon imperils. And then Tsukiko is going to chain bolting strike with Kresnik, who is using Scarlet Wave. Cleome's going to go to the base form, use her base form LB, SLB Lilith, SLB Olive. If we had the morale skill, we would use it. We don't have it. It's okay. But I'm just going to basically send everybody at the same time. Olive has to go first. That way the break is in place for everybody else. Lilith don't care. So we'll just send Olive first, and then Lilith, Cleome, Kresnik, Tsukiko. Usually we do about 3.2, 3.1. We still damage capped. It's fine. Boss heals to full. So from here, it's like a war of attrition. Right? So thankfully he does not regen, but you do have to start working him down every single turn. If you let up even a little bit, the boss you won't be able to get it in 10 turns. So we're going to try our best here. Abigail's going to start us off with 2 breaks and some cover. Tsukiko is going to unlock her fire skill one more time. Lilith is going to chain Betrayal and Kiss of Rapture twice. Cleome is going to chain Gallant Crescendo. Olive is going to do this pretty much every turn, where she uses 4 abilities and then caps with Summer Shot. Kresnik is going to use Medicinal Supplement for an LB damage buff, a potion just to fill some HP, and then Medical Mastery. Or you could do, like, depending on what you need. We kind of need Supplement, Antioxidant, and Mastery. The Mastery is there for turn 7 just in case Kresnik dies. There we go. We've got our buffs now, so we'll go ahead and use those. And what we're going to do is we're going to send Olive, wait just a little bit for her to use a couple of her abilities, and then send our chainer so that she can cap a nice chain for us. We're aiming to be at like 82%. That's our hope. So we'll send Olive. I haven't done this fight like 6 times or anything, trying to figure this all out, right? Okay. Turn 6. We are out of fire imbues, so Tsukiko's going to go to the base form and reapply Omamori, fire support, and then you could either use protection or purification. I'm going to use purification. All right. Abigail is going to use Shelga, cover, and contingency plan phase 1. We're not going to use methodical mitigation until the next turn. We're going to do the same thing with Olive, so let's go ahead and hit reload. But then Lilith is going to do, depending on what we need, we're just going to use 3 betrayals because we don't need raptures. There we go. Cleome is going to use Blood Red Performance and 2 Gallant Crescendos. Kresnik is going to use Demon Rune on Lilith. He's got that from gear, so he's going to use that so that she can be buffed up. All right. Attack and magic buff, and same thing. Olive, let it go, build the chain, let her cap. So Olive to chain. She does significantly less damage now that her buffs have worn off. It is what it is. Execution order. Doesn't do much to Abigail now that we're all fully stacked up. Cool. All right, turn 7, we're going to use methodical mitigation and then just keep the breaks fresh. We're going to use SLB with Lilith, SLB with Olive, Blazing Karmic Retribution with Tsukiko. Kresnik is going to Human Rune on Lilith. And Cleome is going to Gallant Crescendo 3 times. That way, that chains with Tsukiko. Use our buffs, as always. And we're just going to send everybody basically at the same time. %64 is pretty good. We're going to see a ton of counters off of this, probably. Kind of funny. Okay. Turn 8, we are going to do a little bit of chaining with everybody still. So that's cool. We're going to use Fox Karma Firestorm. Abigail's going to get in on the chaining too. She's going to use cover and 2 flamethrowers. Lilith is going to use Betrayal 3 times. Cleome is going to use her shifted LB because we need to burst on turn 10. Olive is going to use 4 skills and Summer Shot. There we go. And Kresnik is going to use Demon Rune 1 more time on Lilith. So Demon Rune, there we go. Use our buff. And we'll send Olive first, and then everybody else. So Olive, wait. %43, not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay, we're gonna do our final reload, kill the boss next turn setup here. So we're going to use Cherished Gift. We're going to downshift and use Gallant Crescendos to chain with Lilith, who's going to heal us up. There we go. Kresnik is going to shift and use Cure and Curse. Again, that's going to give everybody a human killer buff. And technically fill morale too. Olive is going to use Splash. Melons, Dual Summer Shot, and then Fire Cannon Fire. So she's going to use just like three of her skills. One of those should be, you know, the fire skill. She's got a 60% amp. End though with her big Fire Cannon Fire. Abigail is going to use cover, Shell, and Protect. We're going to use Restore HP and MP as well. And just use all of our buffs, you know. There we go. And no real surprise here. We're going to be just chaining and capping with Olive. You have to go a little faster on this one because she's only using 3 skills instead of 4. So we'll just go a little faster. Olive. 31% health. Okay. And we're fully as charged up as we're going to get here. Abigail's going to use her SLB to do the weapon imperils. Go ahead and use our attack buff. Take a quick look at our stats. Olive is at 12,000 magic. Tsukiko or Cleome's at 14,000. Tsukiko's at 12,000. Lilith is at 10,000 defense. Pretty cool. Kresnik is going to use one last demon rune on Lilith. And we're just going to be tag chaining into Olive, into Cleome's base form LB with Tsukiko, Blazing Karmic, just to kind of finish it off. And we're hoping to push it. I've seen this land with like 1% HP left. I've seen this land with no HP left. So we're hoping for a kill shot here. Let's go ahead and do it. Kill shot. Very good. And that'll do it. Go ahead and get the actions out of here. And then we'll show you the gear. Get the score breakdown. Perfect score for 265% mods. And Cleome and Tsukiko are carrying the damage. Lilith is definitely doing her part. And then Olive, is doing Olive things. Pretty cool. Even Abigail jumped in there and did a little bit of damage. Casual 8 million damage. Not bad. Kresnik. Yeah, there you go. So, perfect. For 265. And I don't want any of that. So, let's take a look at the gear. And I will show you what we got going on. And then I'll give you a little bit of commentary. So, as far as gear goes, we'll start with Abigail. So our main focus was just to give her fire, ice, and dark resistance. She's got way more than she needs because the boss does imperils, and there's also a thing that lowers your resistance. So she's geared pretty well for that. But she's got her own STMR, Impervious Shield, Dark Lord Armor, her own TMR, Blizzard Orb for counters, Kryla Veil, Malefic Heart, Looming Wrath for counters. But you don't really need it. She does counter fairly well on her own as long as you got the Blizzard Orb. Judge's Oath. Vengeance was kind of cool. It did do morale fill a couple times for us, which is nice. There you go. And she's wearing the vision card that came with her step up. So yeah, pretty cool. That's mainly for the resistances that it gives. So there you go. Tsukiko in the base form has the Celestite Rod, the Memorial Ring, Galbana Lilies for morale fill, Philosopher's Stone for morale fill. You don't have to use those two, but just something that does it, so that you get it. She's wearing the Ayaka Vision card because it has Cherished Gift, the magic boost thing, which is pretty cool. Lets her do that with just one turn, so very nice. Lets her burst more often. And in the shift form, she's got the Ayaka Rod for morale fill, and then just full Evo damage, which is what she's all about, right? And yeah, there you go, Evo damage. She's great, one of my favorite units in the game. Lilith is wearing the Dancer's Crown, Celestite Chainmail, Chain Cap, She's got her own STMR, some evasion, but she doesn't really need it that bad, you know, whatever. Her main thing though, she does have Demon and Human Killer, LB damage boost, and then chain cap. And then I also gave her some chain speed as well. You could lose chain speed and put on something like Tyva's Spirit if you could find a way to work it into your actions. In my case, she was pretty busy most of those turns where she had it, so maybe that would help you do more damage. But you know, in this clear, she capped without it, so I'm not that worried about it. She's wearing her own vision card because it does have Human and Demon Killer on it, which is kind of nice. Olive, probably the hardest person to gear in this entire team. And yeah, she's got maxed out Human, maxed out Demon, maxed out Magic, maxed out LB. Yeah, she's the hardest one to gear, honestly. She's wearing Dazzling Demons just for chain cap. Everything else is basically killer gear. This is killer gear, killer gear, killer gear. LB damage, killer gear. Olive's kind of annoying to gear. Cleome in the base form, which is where she's doing all her damage, is geared as such. She's got the crown, the fully upgraded crown. Emperor's Ring, she's got a chain cap up item. Chain speed, you know, stats, whatever. She's wearing this vision card. This is nice because it's got magic on it and it does have Human Killer on it, which kind of helps her out a little bit. She caps for Demon Killer pretty naturally. She mainly only needed Human Killer, so there you go. And then her shift form, basically the same. Yeah, there you go. Cool. And then Kresnik. So Kresnik is wearing the a Vilk vision card. If you don't have Vilk, you can just use Sylvie's vision card. You can get that for free. But I happen to have Vilk, so I went ahead and used it. He's dual wielding to get the benefits of it twice. He's got a Guts item, and then he's got his own STMR. Scarlet Wave for the one turn of chaining where he does it. The rest of the time he's using other things. LB fill, whatever. But he's got these two items. So the Troldmond Hair Cuff gives her Human Rune, Dragon Rune, and Insect Rune, as well as Barrier, which is 4,000 HP. Not that good. We used it for Human Rune. It's a 150% human and Human Killer buff for 2 turns for physical and magical. We were mainly hitting that on Lilith as our main DPS in the second phase of the fight. The Magi Sherm does the same thing, except it's Demon, Fairy, and Reaper, and we were using Demon, so there you go. And he's got the same build in both forms, basically, you know. There you go. And in my case, that did it. So I'm going to, at this point, go back to the drawing board and just make some changes. I want to see if I can do this without Abigail, use a different tank. Because if I can do it without Abigail, then I can potentially swap to Dark. And I can use like Dark Fina instead. And maybe do a little bit better damage, maybe add some more mods, we'll see. But for now, 265 is kind of where I'm at. So I do hope that that is helpful for you. If it is, you know, let me know. If it's not helpful, let me know. You know, if you've got questions about what you could change, what else you could do, you know, I'm definitely open for them. In my case, we severely overcapped. You know, we did 3.1. I've done as much as 3.4 variants, you know, whatever. You know, you only have to do 2.5. So I definitely could have made some reductions in gear. But the final phase of the fight, man, it comes down to the wire. Almost so that it makes me think I should like do 2 small bursts in the beginning and then save my big burst for the end. But that feels really risky to me. So I don't know. Maybe that's a strategy you could try. You know, just do 2 small bursts on turn 4 and 5 to get to just to get to 50%, and then do a big burst at the end. I don't know. It's a way to go, maybe. But I do hope it helps. If it does, let me know. And hopefully it does. We'll see you in the next video, though, whatever that is. Hopefully another clear with different units. I lied. Remember that time I said I was going to give you some commentary? Okay, so here it is. So at this point, I'm at rank... Oh my gosh, my rank has fallen. I'm at 260. I like to get rank 1, but there's a reason why I don't really care if I can't do rank 1 on this one. One is that this particular boss is, in my opinion, kind of annoying. Two is that as long as you're between rank 1 and 1000, you get all the same rewards. So if I can just stay within rank 1000, like, cool. I'm not sweating it that hard. You know, not getting rank 1 in this case is literally a factor of, do you have Melissa or do you have Ibara? Which is, like, to me, really annoying. I didn't have enough lapis to pity either one of them, so I'm not really pulling them because I don't think that's a safe way to use my resources. But yeah, so if I can just aim right here and stay right here, I think most people should, you know, could theoretically stay in this range. We'll see. We get the unfortunate thing is that we have like 3 weeks to go, or 2 weeks and 5 days to go, and between now and then, leader skills are going to come out. So like people who have Ibara now but can't seem to cap are suddenly going to be able to cap once they have Ibara's leader skill, probably. So that may very well push me down below 1000. We'll see. I hope not. I'd like to stay in this range, but at the end of the day, if I can't, you know, 1000 to 2000 is still nice rewards. I would like to get this gold emblem just because I have gotten a lot of them and I'd like to keep on getting them, but you know, if I can't stay here, it's fine. Now I'm really done. You guys take care.